Welcome back to the Light League, folks. We got Mr. Moose Kendo Slice here for game number one of this best of three block. We've got DA Obsidian going to be facing off against the Central Sentinels. And now we're going to start things off with the draft phase. Kendo immediately going to be banning out the Xin Zhao for Central. And then Viego going to be the response as we get things started.
It would not surprise me at all if there were a lot of jungle bans here in this first game, because clearly KJB has shown themselves to be extremely good against a lot of different compositions thus far. One of the leaders in excellency rating. We do see the Corki ban. Void has been spectacular on Corki throughout this season thus far. I remember right, the personal win rate up over 70% right now in game. Or in
So, I
league.
mean, yeah, taking out the Corki, obviously making sense. The Xin Zhao, again, something good, but it does leave Trundle on the table. It also leaves Pony Goat's Ziggs still available unless I jinx it right now and Central Sentinels banned it
Oh!
out. There it is. All right. Cool. All right. DA Obsidian not going to be playing Ziggs today. There's the commentator's curse right there for Pony Goat. Going to be playing something other than the Bomb Maker in this game.
It doesn't surprise me at all. In fact, it actually surprises me that it took so long for somebody to consistently ban out the Ziggs from Pony Goat, force Pony Goat off of that APC in the bot lane. It creates such an interesting dichotomy in a game for the composition when you can have such a powerful APC down in the bot lane.
Yeah, and so, I mean, taking that off of Pony Goat, I mean, he has done exceptionally well with it, but he has other options to go for, and Central Sentinels is going to go for the Thresh as their support pick. Early opportunity there for Fiendfire, looking to be able to use that effectively, can go into a lot of different comps. If they want the late game, they can do the Aphelios, which is always good. Going to be a Braum response, actually, which I'm really happy to see. I love Braum's into Thresh. I think it just makes it so difficult for Thresh to be able to get all the peel that he needs with the peel that Braum gets. And then on top of that, KGB with that J4 already coming out in game one.
Yeah, of course, the J4 for KGB, arguably one of the most must-ban characters in this game and in this light league. 71% win rate on J4 for KGB. And here's what surprised me. 4 plays thus far. This will be the 5th one, but in those 4 plays, a 27, 8, and 70 assists on the KDA. That is an insane KDA coming in for KGB.
Not 70 assists, Kendo. That's ridiculous.
70.
KGB somewhat aggressive there in being very, very potent in being able to grab a lot of options. And speaking of options, Central Sentinels is going to round out their bottom lane with the Jhin. So Obsidian can decide to go for the counter pick here on to the ADC. Pony Goat knows what he's going up against. They decide to pair the Braum with the Lucian here in game one. It looks like they will take it. And so now mid lane Echo going to be taken as well. A couple of jungle picks or a jungle pick and a top pick could be available for the Sentinels, maybe a mid pick depending on what Echo is going to be playing, and then a mid and top lane pick going to be needed for DA Obsidian. First ban's going to be the Darius in the top lane.
And you also are going to need a little bit of AP damage on the side of DA Obsidian right now. They look a little bit lacking. They have plenty of physical damage and plenty of tankiness thus far with the J4, with the Braum. The Lucian, no slouch either, can be quite the bruiser as far as marksmen go. We do see a potential Neeko ban. That takes away one of the AP picks, potentially. Void has been very good on Neeko in league play.
I mean, even though, there's still a lot of champions that Void can play into this composition. Ball delivery is there. He could decide to go for the Orianna if he wants to play something interesting and fun in a control mage setting. But he's also, if we want to see, we could potentially see a Vigar come out. We could see, I don't know, we could have fun and play a Lux for all we care. I have no idea what the Obsidian has going for it. And it's going to be a top lane ban. Aurelia is going to be taken away from Ted Garcia. So not going to be able to have that mid to late game powerhouse available in the top lane. Let's see what DA Obsidian decides to blind. It's going to be the mid lane Vel'Koz. So Vel'Koz is going to be available, ready to go for Void, and they're going to counterpick top lane for Ted Garcia.
Yeah, another one of the comfort picks for Void, aptly named, of course, given the fact Vel'Koz, the absolute eye of the Void Storm, and we will be interested to see who gets picked here. That is going to be a Mumu. Now, this is very interesting because Central Sentinels, a very large amount of them will play in that bottom lane role. We've seen multiple times where people have actually switched roles in the middle of 3-game sets. So I am not sure if that is an Amumu jungle. It may be an Amumu support.
No way. No way.
Maybe. No, I'm just saying.
No, it can't be.
There is a thresh there, but I'm just saying there's crazier things.
There are crazier things than that. And speaking of crazy, we've got Silas coming in unchained, ready to go into the top lane. I love this pick. So many high value ultimates going to be available for the Silas to pick up in this game. Echo's Chrono Break, the box coming in from the Thresh, the Curse of the Sand Mummy from the Amumu, and of course, the tried and true Unstoppable Force from the Malphite. I mean, just so many game team fight initiating tools that DA Obsidian has been able to build. They've got amazing wombo combo potential. You know, Jarvan gets a big Cataclysm into a Glacial Fissure, into a Silas Unstoppable Force, or a Curse of the Sad Mummy. The Solution and Vel'Koz are just going to be able to have a field day with this front line if they are able to get onto them first. However, you know, you've got a very safe bottom lane with the Lantern coming in for the Thresh. Jin's got to play carefully, though. Got to play carefully against Ponygoat, one of the best rated players in the Light League right now. Going to be a tough matchup, regardless of how safe or how aggressive you play.
I just had to get in there how crazy this Central Sentinel squad has been throughout this regular season thus far. They have done things that we have not seen before. So it was a dynamic example. Do I doubt that is going to happen? Most likely. Not going to happen here. That is most likely an Amumu in the jungle. I like what we have, though, for the comp out of DA Obsidian. You have so much tankiness. You have a lot of potential damage within that tankiness. And you called it the Wombo combo. This may dwarf all other Wombo combos we knew before it, because the amount of damage, especially with the Vel'Koz ult on the back end, could be substantial. You get all 5 in the team fight. That is a very tough composition to go up against.
Right, and I mean, if we're talking DA Obsidian, their target for the Sentinels is obviously going to be that Jhin, Fiendfire. It's looking like playing in the bottom lane today, so it'll be Primus Fiendfire going to be that bottom lane for us. So the Jhin is going to be picked up there, but that is most likely going to be the target. You know, take away Fiendfire, take away the damage that he's going to be able to bring into those team fights, moving into the mid game, moving into the late game. And I mean, what else do you have? You've got a potential burst assassin in the Echo, who's going to be up against a tough opponent in the Vel'Koz in the mid lane already. Like, that's a tough matchup early on. If the Vel'Koz is able to get the slow, that passive true damage just obliterates those early health bars. It's going to make it very difficult for the Echo to keep up with him until he gets that chrono break. I mean, you take away either the middle lane or the bottom lane. You just build resistances for the lane that did better. And now Central Sentinels is in a very tough position moving into the mid game when DA Obsidian is just fine. Doesn't matter who you go for. They're still going to have a carry available and damage on the board.
And that's the other thing. Like, there's carry potential all over the board for DA Obsidian, whereas Central Sentinels, yes, you do have a little bit of the late game, but you know the Malphite's going to fall off. The Amumu is there to tank. It's not there to necessarily push forward. The Jhin is going to be the predominant damage maker throughout this entire match. So if you want to stop them early, make sure that that bot lane is a losing lane for Central Sentinels. And we've already seen how good this J4 can be in the hands of KGB. I get the feeling they know where they're going to start. They understand the win conditions of their opposing team, and they are going to look to stymie Central Sentinels early and often.
And we'll see how that plays out for them. I mean, maybe some crazy situations. We do have a mid Amumu coming in from Central Sentinels, folks. This is a mid Amumu pick. Unless it's supposed to be the Amumu going into the bot or into the jungle, and they just switched up their composition at the very end of it. I mean, maybe, I have no clue. But I'm seeing that Amumu picked mid lane, so that could be an AP Amumu coming through, which could be a lot of damage for the Central Sentinels, which is what they're gonna need. I mean, either Amumu needs to build AP and just be, you know, the best Amumu AP mid that we've ever seen to go up against Void and the rest of DAO Obsidian, or Farmer Ben on the Malphite plays the AP Malphite, gets the 5-man ultimate, and just, you know, makes the pentakill happen for that play. That would be huge for the Sentinels if they're able to get it. But there's just so many variables that are coming into this game that it definitely gives me a lot of potential that DAO Obsidian does have this one. But we'll see how the game plays out. And we're going to take a quick break before we jump into game number 1 while we get the games loaded. So stay tuned, and we'll be back before you know it. Hello, everyone, and we are back. Game number 1 is underway here at the Excellency Light League, week number 5. Divine Ascension Obsidian looking to be able to keep their flawless 12-0 record going up against the Central Sentinels here in
Oh,
game 1, Kendo. We got some shenanigans in the river, maybe.
I'm hoping for it. You already know that Central Sentinels like to have their fun, but the fact that both teams have set themselves up for success early here makes things very interesting. Is this an entire team shift?
Maybe. It's kind of looking like we got all 5 members of the Sentinels looking to go up to the top
Ooh.
lane, or at least to the top river. No, they're gonna see
Okay.
Primus and Fiendfire taking the leisurely stroll back down to bottom lane. But Leche, the jungler here, the Echo coming in with a nice early or nice late deep ward, at least gonna get some vision and not getting punished for it here in this first game. Ted Garcia, though, doing the same. They get the ward. No vision. Acquire secured there for the Silas or whoever wants to have that vision. It's just not there.
Yeah, well, I am actually very comforted with the fact that we do actually have an Amumu in the jungle. This is just classic Central Sentinels. Mardur, normally the mid laner, or at least slotted to be the mid laner towards the beginning here, ends up going to the jungle, and Lychee, who's been the jungler for a decent amount of the time that we've seen the Sentinels in the league this season, and they will be going into the mid lane. So I'm interested to see how different this makes things, the dichotomy of it all. I do have a early action here with Farmer Ben and Ted Garcia.
Nothing too crazy, just a little bit back and forth action. KGB, however, going to start off with an early gank onto Leche. Unfortunately, the Q does not land. Now, KGB is extremely low, going to have to use his flash to get away. We're going to get the mastery. Thumbs up coming in from Leche as well. The Echo putting in damage against KGB, and in the bottom lane, a nice root, a nice play on a Ponygoat, gonna get that exhaust. We'll have to flash away. Fiendfire trying to go for the kill, so close to getting it, but Ponygoat is still alive, looking to be able to continue to keep going. Flash gonna come in from Corey JJ, the root is gonna land, Primus is gonna go in for the hook, and first blood is going to Central Sentinels.
You knew that there was going to be some sort of blood tasted on that play. You just didn't know who it was going to be. Credit to Ponygoat for getting away. Corey JJ will take the fall. In this case, it's an early lead, and that is very frightening when you consider that Jhin is sitting on a fat stack of the Central Sentinels win condition.
It's huge for them. And now with Leche in the mid lane as well, that Echo going to be so valuable potentially moving into the mid game. We'll see what he's able to do against Void so far. I mean, putting in some effort, putting in some work, pushing up the lane as we get to take a look again at that first blood, Kendo. Pretty good play.
Yeah, all Primus on this one. Drilling in Ponygoat, making sure they get the extra additional play into the turret shot. And outside of the 1 hit point left for Ponygoat, that was a brilliant, clean play. The extra root on the tail end, along with the hook. They hit every single skill shot possible, and it pays off with a kill.
Now remember, this is not a Dark Harvest Jhin. He does decide to go for the fleet footwork. Will not have that extra little bit of pop burst damage that he could go for when he gets into that mid game. So building already those 2 long swords, so most likely Serrated Jerk is inbound for that first item there, Kendo. Other than that, I mean, looks like Farmer Ben building a little bit more AP in his runes, has that Arcane Comet Keystone. Does that mean that he's going to be playing an AP Rockman in the top lane? Maybe not, but he does have a little bit of extra damage in the early game to fight off Ted Garcia and the Silas. But another great root coming in from Pyrus. Ponygoat this time is now looking to be able to get some revenge after that last play. Barrier, I'm sorry, not barrier, but shielding is going to be there. Primus will survive, as this bottom lane has been extremely explosive thanks to Primus.
The only disadvantage to what we are seeing in the top lane thus far that Malphite is going to run out of mana very quickly and very often, already trying to push this wave in. May end up, you want to check with this one in just a little bit, because if that ends up being a freeze, Sylas is going to get very big very early.
So far, though, I mean, Farmer Ben not really pushing that lane forward, just kind of letting it do its own thing, getting that last CS. KGB now looking to be able to get Fiendfire, who does not have flash because he lost it in that last play. The stun is going to land, and Fiendfire will go down. Ponygoat going to take that kill, and on top of that, in the mid lane, Void is going to take down the Echo. Leche will fall, and DAO now takes a 1-kill advantage here at the 6-minute mark, looking to go towards Dragon.
And they'll have a firm advantage. Mardur may have the opportunity to go in. Does also have Primus potentially pick someone off, but this is some brilliant work. They are pulling the Dragon out, making sure Mardur and Primus do not have any prime positioning on what they should really be giving. Mardur poking in.
Wants to potentially go for the bandage toss. The hook lands onto the Dragon, but it's not going to do much of anything. Red team will take Dragon number 1. It is an Ocean Drake. Infernal is going to be up next, so we either going to get the tanky Mountain Soul or the ability haste on that ultimate Cloud Soul here in game number 1. You know, if I were to put money on it, I'm going to say this game, let's go for the Mountain Soul. I think it's going to be a Mountain Soul game, Mountain Soul play here for game number 1 here, Kendo.
You know, I've disagreed with you one too many times. We're both going to go Mountain Soul. And if I'm wrong, you're wrong too, buddy.
Oh.
I'm not living up to anything negative here. KJV going to survive here with about half HP. Both teams really scrapping back and forth.
So far, though, I mean, the CS advantages kind of showing up here in the bottom lane. Ponygoat up by 15. A little bit of an advantage for Leche and the Echo, but gold-wise, it is a 200 gold advantage for the Lucian, about 100 gold advantage here for the Vel'Koz, and curiously enough, and actually a 200 gold advantage for Primus as that Thresh. Other than that, I mean, this is a very even game. Only 200 gold in the lead for Divine Obsidian. They do have that early Dragon, which does give them an extra little bit of stats coming in. Ponygoat maybe in trouble with Leche in the area. This could be a nice dive for Central Sentinels if they are able to go for it. Ponygoat is not level 6. Coling is not active, but he will avoid the root from Fiendfire. He is trying to get away, but the stun is going to land. Ponygoat has to use everything to try to get out of this one. The Chrono Break does not land any damage on a Ponygoat, and now Void comes in with the TP. Yes, Central Sentinels will escape, but no kills for that play. Meanwhile, on the top lane, KGB trying to get out of that one. What a beautiful blast cone. Gonna be able to survive that potential dive. Everyone taking a lot of damage, but no one going down.
DAO making sure that they zone themselves out of 2 disadvantageous situations. And you got to give credit both to the zoning of that teleport in by Void, and then KGB precision blast cone work will manage to stay alive. I don't want to quote the Bee Gees too early, but you can tell by the way they look, they're not about to go down easy.
No, not at all. I mean, very fun early game coming in. The gold lead has been rectified now at the 9-minute mark, with the Rift Herald now spawned, ready to go for either team to go for. Ted Garcia playing as that Sylas. Very quiet in the early game, but does have a teleport advantage now against Farmer Ben. Was able to push the lane forward. And an interesting play coming in from Mordor. The Amumu deciding to start that Rift Herald. Maybe going to be able to get it for free here with KGB in the bottom lane. Looks like Central Sentinels are going to have a good play here at the Rift Herald pit.
Yes, and that would be a very crucial Rift Herald if they're able to pull it off. The large portion of DAO in the bot lane at the moment, and really trying to zone off that scuttle, and they are going in here.
Ponygoat now in trouble yet again. Another nice hook from Primus, but a lot of damage as KGB comes in with the knock-up. Chrono Break is going to land, and that's going to be Corey JJ going down, but Leche has no more means to escape. Fiendfire does not get, or does get that kill onto Ponygo, but sacrifices her own life for it. It is a 3-for-2 trade, and it is not over yet. KGB has Ragnarok, and he is going for Mordor. Mordor does go for the smite onto the Raptors, but then KGB does actually end up getting the actual gold off of it, and Void takes the kill, going on a killing spree. It is a 4-for-2 play so far, but meanwhile in the top lane, Farmer Ben looking to get the kill onto Ted Garcia, but what healing coming in from the Silas. It will not be enough. Farmer Ben making it a 4-for-3 play across the rift. DAO coming out on top.
Yeah, that's a tough rock to handle as we do get a replay here. I want to focus on KGB. Again, 70 assists in the last 4 games in league play. So that is insane to think about this J4, and you see exactly that going in at the right time, maintaining presence, maintaining the small stuns, the stoppages where they can, and keeping everyone in it. That is going to be the most critical point for this DAO squad when you consider if Jarvan 4 can extend circumstances, you're going to have Void coming in with the ult, and there's going to be a lot of damage.
Unfortunately, though, for Leche, KGB is ready to go. Chrono Break is not yet active, and now Leche, trying to be able to survive, does get the stun with his W ability and the extra movement speed to be able to get out. Little mini phase rush built into his passive there. But again, another gank coming in from KGB to looking to be able to build up on those assists. So far, the only major advantage that the Sentinels has is on that Rift Herald. We'll see what happens when it gets popped. It does look like we are getting a fight in the bottom lane. Corey, JJ, and Ponygo will be able to get out of that one, but the Dragon has now been started by DAO. And what will the Sentinels do here? Infernal Drake is ready. The Lantern is showing vision, but there's nothing that they can do. And Kendo, you and I are right. It is a Mountain Soul here for game 1.
You see, and now I know. I just need to go with whatever Moose says. Moose is always right. The wise sage of Moose will never steer me wrong when it comes to Drake typage. And there is even more action here in the mid lane. Void being pushed off the post. Not able to do it. I call it for help. The J4 is there in the wait in the wings.
Yeah, I mean, Mordor does drop the Rift Herald, so they should be able to get the headbutt here at the 12-minute mark. They do, but Shelly goes down before they are able to complete the tower. More importantly, though, Leche does not have Chrono Break ready to go for another play. If they do decide to go for it, that is not a super lengthy cooldown, but a cooldown nonetheless. And unless we get a Night Harvester coming in from Leche on that Echo, he's not going to have a lot of ability aids to eventually get that ability to be more active here in these team fights and in this game. Void, however, 3-0-1, already picking up the Everfrost. That's going to be a nice play there. Primus now potentially in trouble as Leche going to go in for the wave clear, does not need any assistance. Primus will get out just fine. DAO maintaining a slight gold advantage, moving into 13:30.
But this is exactly where they want to be. 2 Drakes, a lot of possession, a lot of neutral objectives owned here on the Rift early. And you're seeing everything slow down. Mordor gonna get caught out by KGB, forced out of the river. Decides to wisely retreat. So lots of interesting. DAO slowly taking hold on all portions of the Rift.
Good positioning, though. I like the play coming in from KGB. If looking at the vision here on the Rift, I mean, not really a lot of vision going across, a little bit in the river for the Central Sentinels in the top lane. 1 control ward, 2 control wards in the bottom lane for DAO. So it's a very dark map right now, and so a lot of scary situations for a lot of these players going into the jungle, most importantly Central Sentinels. If they do decide to push anywhere forward, it could be rough, but we are going to get a top lane play. Ted Garcia is going to go down to Mordor, but look at the damage Void was able to get with that disintegration ray. Will end up being able to get the kill not only on to the Amumu, but now onto Farmer Ben as well. Primus is in the area trying to go for the save, but it is a double kill for Corey JJ, stacking up the KDA stats in the support column there. 2, 2, and 3 out of that fight.
And I love the fact that it's KGB doesn't care about getting those kill secures, is willing to spread the love. They're going to get another one, this time on Lychee. And love it! J4 is everywhere, all at once, an unsung 1-0-7. Still no bounty on this J4.
I mean, 7 assists. You were talking about how many assists he was able to get off of the last several games that he has played with the champion. I think it was 5 games and 70 assists. He is definitely looking to pad those numbers here in this game. If he keeps that up already at 15 minutes into the game, 8 out of 9 kill participation for this jungler. KGB coming into this game with a mission, and so far he has accomplished it very well. As we take a look at a lot of the items now starting to be available here for DAO. Full team reset means that mythic items are going to get taken by a lot of players. Kraken Slayer comes online, already the Gore Drinker, and then the Everfrost can be available for J4 and the Vel'Koz respectively. And the Everfrost is fairly close to being taken by Ted Garcia. However, with that reset, Central Sentinels immediately going towards the Rift Herald again, trying to be able to get something here with that early game advantage. And on top of that, in the mid lane, picking up the first turret.
Yeah, the turret game may be the only solace Central Sentinels are going to have. In the process, it does look like they may be giving up prime position for this first Mountain Drake and potential soul point down the road. We're 26 seconds away. They're making their move down, but no vision means they don't know just how many are there in that mid bush.
This is going to be scary. Corey JJ Pony Goat now in the river as the Rift Herald does get spawned. Vision and control is available for DAO, and they decide to give it up. They care more about making sure that that inner turret does not go down, but they are now looking for the fight. Leche not going to even be able to go for the chrono break. Does get it immediately as he needs it, though. Mardor is going to go in for the bandage toss, but no one is going down just yet. Culling is going to land, and there's Ted Garcia using the unstoppable force against the team that drafted it. KGB with the Ragnarok onto Mardor, and there is nothing that he can do. Farmer Ben not even close to helping with that fight, and the communication will lead to DAO taking a 3-0 kill advantage in that play. Gonna go immediately towards the Mountain Drake.
Yes, you may have gotten some turrets, but you are going to lose so much. At what cost, Central Sentinels? At what cost? And we may have a kill on the back end. Pony Goat putting themselves in a little bit of a disadvantageous position. Slight overcommit does get away, but no tower taken in the mid. We do go back to the replay here, and when we saw this composition, we knew that there would be brilliant team fights. KGB holding off Mardor for so long allows everyone to get in on the lower portion of that fight, and then just continuing to follow there. All 3 members going down. They did a great job of dividing and conquering.
Yeah, and Central Sentinels was not prepared for that fight at all, and it's going to cost them dearly. 2,800 gold in the deficit, about 3K now, as they are able to get the Scuttle Crab. They have positioning here in this top river. Baron is not spawned, but they can now start pushing forward and claiming some of these objectives. They are at Soul Point. They've got now 7 more kills. 5 mythic items on a line compared to 4 here for the Sentinels. And this is looking dire already. Not over for the Sentinels, but definitely dire moving into the 20-minute mark. I mean, Pony Goat, 148 CS with a 350 gold bounty. Same with Vel'Koz. This is a rough game.
Yeah, it has been very rough so far. I love the fact, though, you're up to 10 assists with KGB on the J4. Only 1 kill. Still not a single bounty to be had for everyone else on the Rift. You gotta love the fact that it's so efficient. It's so sneaky.
And so now, I mean, looking at, you know, the maybe a 20-minute Baron for DAO. They are in position to go for it. Maybe not, as Leche does get the 1v1 against Ted Garcia in the bottom lane and will be able to pick that one up. So now a little bit of a power play coming in for the Sentinels. Meanwhile, Unstoppable Force, ultimate for ultimate, going to be used. KGB, I think fine with that because the Unstoppable Force cooldown, they're about even, I guess I should say. Nothing too crazy there. Now looking at the bottom lane, Leche going to be in trouble. Culling is going to land a lot of damage, but not quite enough to get the kill just yet. Pony Goat will secure it using that flash. Gonna be 5-1-2 out of that play, making it a 1-for-1.
So many up top, no one there. You know that the vision was accounted for in all of this, and if you're Farmer Ben, that you don't want to be fighting Void. You don't want to be trying to push in too hard on that one. A lot of poke on that Vel'Koz. Doesn't matter how rocky your hide is. They are substantially down right now, but they are not out yet, Moose. And while they are lacking in the vision, and they do definitely need to get a little bit of a sweep going on. I'm looking at the Echo with only a 7 vision score, despite having the sweeper, needs to get a little more work there.
I mean, speaking of sweep, it feels like Ted Garcia and the rest of DAO are just maintaining control of this game, sweeping out any sort of problems that they might have moving onto their side of the rift. They're not really pushing too far forward. They have, that inner tower, that outer tower gone in the bottom lane and in the mid lane. But they're just waiting for the moment to strike. At the moment, I mean, Central Sentinels does not have the damage to sustain those long fights that DAO can go for right now. A 2-2-2 Fiendfire, that Jhin with a Gale Force and a Zeal, not building too much attack damage. Meanwhile, in the top lane, CoryJJ and Ted Garcia want the kill onto Farmer Ben. He does have Unstoppable Force to potentially get out of that one, but he's not going to even be able to use it as Farmer Ben goes down. Ted Garcia secures the kill, has to use Flash to get away, but now an extended fight potentially as Pony Goat is now looking to be able to keep it going. Primus does end up getting the hook, so no further damage into that one. Top lane should survive for Central Sentinels, but now it is a 4v5 play. DAO could potentially think about a Baron push here. Doesn't look like it. They're gonna disengage, taking the kill, taking the damage, and continuing on their dragon push. With the dragon spawning in 45 seconds, they are immediately going to that side of the rift to go for soul.
Yeah, that is a very smart decision-making process on this squad. They have a firm advantage, having taken down Farmer Ben, and once again, they're going to put themselves in a very good spot. They are just taking the patient route, up by 5,000 gold about, and continuing to take vision superiority throughout the rift. They are going to face check the wrong bush here as Primus almost goes down.
Primus can have a lot of damage already. Chrono Break is going to land in the Ragnarok. Mardur is the only one that lands with that one, but no one dying just yet. Flash going to come in from CoryJJ. He does have Unbreakable, but will be able to survive. So several ultimates going to get used by both teams. Ted Garcia does still have his Spell Thief to be able to use it on potentially Farmer Ben to get that big Unstoppable Force. Unstoppable Force is ready for both teams, as both of these teams look to be able to fight for this Mountain Drake. CoryJJ at about half HP. KGB looking to get some health onto the Gromp and will be able to get back to full HP now, as the rest of Central Sentinels now groups up together. A nice bandit shot's going to land. Ted Garcia going to go for the Curse of the Sad Mummy as his ultimate steal. Now, can he go in and get the initiation that they need? The Unstoppable Force is going to land on the 3, but the damage is not there yet. And Ted Garcia gets the stun onto Fiendfire. He won't be able to do any damage, and now goes down. A beautiful play by DAO as they take 3, take 4 as Primus tries to escape. There is no stopping this team. They take the Mountain Soul and most definitely win this fight.
I know you're supposed to focus the ADCs. You're supposed to try to get the damage out of the fight as soon as possible. That being said, the focus the entire time of this DAO squad has been KGB and keeping themselves in the team fight just long enough to turn the entire thing around. The Curse of the Sad Mummy coming in from Ted Garcia helped that as well, taking a lot off of guard. So much damage coming in from everyone. Gotta love this team composition from DAO.
So now let's take a look at that fight again. I'm going to keep you on the mic, Kendo. Show us what happened here in this play.
You saw the initial push by Farmer Ben. I'm not sure I like that as the engage. Mardor as well had used up the initial engage, but we have another fight coming in around the Baron pit. Void gonna try not to go out, but most likely gonna be taken down. Here we go. That is 2 for 2 thus far.
Little bit of damage now onto Mardor. Mardor will go down. It is now 2 for 1 in favor of Central Sentinels. The Baron did not get taken as DAO was denied that ability. Gonna get a hook coming in, of course, JJ, but they are fine with that. With Ponygoat and Void both going down, they are not able to go for any extra damage because they don't really have it available just yet. However, they do survive. They do give an extra kill over to Central Sentinels. However, I mean, that is just a small error in what has been a near flawless game for DAO.
Yeah, and it just might have been overcommit a little too soon. And they do have the Mountain Soul. They do have a great amount of control, but they do get chunked a little bit in that goal lead. And Primus coming in, gonna sweep out quite a few wards here early. Farmer Ben, really starting up the Baron here?
I don't think so. I think he was just trying to be able to get some sort of vision or take out some vision that was in the pit. But, I mean, looking across the Rift, the vision score is actually doing really well for DAO. Shout out to KGB, 42, the highest vision score on the DAO squad. Does look like we've got KGB kind of in the area, knows that Primus, Fiendfire, and the rest of Central Sentinels are potentially on the way. Ted Garcia does have teleport, but Farmer Ben is the target, and Void will take the laser and will disintegrate the rock. And now the team fight will continue. The Glacial Fissure is going to land with and into the Ragnarok on it to Fiendfire. KGB with a lot of damage will survive thanks to the Gore Drinker. Ponygoat's going to take the kill on Mardor. Leche is the only one alive as Ted Garcia gets a double kill. Will use the Chrono Break to try to get away, but that's just going to lead to an ace for KGB, and Divine Ascension Obsidian figure it out. They get the ace, they get the Baron, and most certainly are going to try to take this game very soon.
I don't think that they are going to finish the game on this Baron, but they are going to deal critical damage. Now up by 15 kills. You have Soul. You have this Baron buff for the next 3 minutes, and we have a replay of this top fight. Front to back, the better composition has been winning. You took Farmer Ben out of it completely early, and from there, it was just divide and conquer. Down low, KGB working with Ted Garcia, just enough damage to make sure that they keep them on their toes, and they completely took everyone out of it. You found out Fiendfire as early as possible. I can't say any more than that, other than the fact that this was a perfect division of this team, one pick at a time.
I mean, at this point, if you're Central Sentinels, you need an act of COD. Divine Intervention is going to be needed to come back from this game. It is a 10,000 gold lead. We're not even 30 minutes into this game. Mountain Soul, Baron, a huge gold lead. Look at the diff between Ponygoat and Fiendfire. It is almost 3,000 at this point. That's almost a full item. You've got several members of DAO close to or at 10,000 gold at this point, and no one is even close to that point on the Sentinels. And so far, I mean, nothing has just gone Central Sentinels' way. They needed to get into the lead early on, and they haven't been able to do it. And now looking at potentially this final push here for for Divine Ascension, they might try to end the game here as they get a little bit of damage, a little bit of an engage coming in from Primus, but no one dying. Ted Garcia just whacking away at that inner tower, but the hooks are going to land onto KGB. KGB might be looking to go in for a nice Ragnarok, but instead is going to go back, and Glacial Fissure is not going to land on anybody. Ponygoat will be able to take the kill onto the mid tower and will flash away. Will avoid the unstoppable force, but will still get shut down. Echo will die before he's able to use that Chrono Break as Ted Garcia tries to be able to keep up and get whatever damage he can. Void is going to go golden to try to survive, and will survive as Ted Garcia gets the double kill. Ragnarok's going to land onto Primus, and that's going to be a triple kill for Ted Garcia. He wants the penta. He wants more. Does he get more? It doesn't look like it. He will be fine with the triple kill as DAO in a near flawless game in game 1 will obliterate Central Sentinels.
It's not done quite yet, but it may as well be, as we are going to see the continued engage. I get the feeling this is going to end in death for as many people as possible. KGB going to go all in on Fiendfire. Will pay with the livelihood, but they are going to grab both of the turrets in the process. Brilliant team fight as they do manage to take that second one down. But again, the price is probably going to be everyone goes down here.
Void will die. Corey JJ looking like the only member of the DAO squad to survive here, but now the minions are whacking away at the Nexus.
Go Minions!
Oh, CST does survive, but look now at the Dragon Pit. It is Pony Goat looking to solo the Elder Drake. No, they don't get the kill onto the Nexus, but they just continue to keep the onslaught going. KGB is there, but Primus is in the area. They could throw this game if Primus is able to get the hook. Can he get it? Oh, no, he doesn't. He uses Flash and will not be able to get it, so Pony Goat does get his Elder Drake onto 3 members of DAO, padding those neutral objectives here, but no game ending just yet for DAO. The Nexus is exposed. Kendo, I mean, I thought that the game was over.
It was close. It was close. I do feel like that was the fatal blow. I don't think there's any comeback from this. If you're Central Sentinels, you are still looking at only 1 turret gone down for this Central Sentinels team. Down by 15 kills. We've already seen the difference between Pony Goat and Fiendfire in the amount of gold and the build. There is no real way to come back for it. And outside, as you said, divine intervention, this one is all but over. But it's a testament again to DAO just controlling their circumstances, making sure they pick the right fights, and they're picking the right one right now. Farmer Ben forced to use the ult to get out.
Trying to be able to survive, but Ted Garcia is in the area, and it's going to be 2 members, Primus and Farmer Ben, get lambs to the slaughter as DAO uses the execute of the Elder Dragon to take down the Thresh, to take down the Malphite. Leche does have Chrono Break to be able to survive a little bit more damage, but is it going to be enough? Mardor is the target. He will not get slowed, but he will go down to Pony Goat as he picks up another kill. He wants more, and Void will pick up Leche. Ted Garcia will take the kill on to the Jin, and there it is, the ace, the win, the dominance from DAO in game 1, taking a little bit longer than I think that they expected, but the result remains the same.
Incoming trauma ban on Jarvan 4. Incoming trauma ban on Jarvan 4. I think that's probably the most intelligent thing I can say right now. 2-1-26 for KGB, and this is the 5th game of Jarvan for KGB in league play. Now at 96 assists in 5 games.
I mean, that's pretty good. It's not quite a 25 assists per game, but, 26 assists is not half bad. It's the best assist count in this game by far. Corey JJ in second place with 22. But shout out to everyone on DAO. I think everyone performing like they needed to be able to win this game. And I mean, I said it in the game, and I say it now. Other than a couple of maybe a little missteps in their dance, they just waltzed their way into a victory game 1.
Well, let's also talk about one of the most critical aspects of this game, and it's something that Divine Ascension and Obsidian did so well in game number 1. That was vision. Yes, they made very smart decisions throughout on neutral objectives, but a portion of that was because you had vision a majority of the time. And I want to give credit again to KGB. a lot of junglers will choose to go with your red trinket. You're going to go with your sweeper in order to take away other people's vision. Just sticking with the regular wards and getting vision one ward at a time and making sure that they are able to make the right decisions throughout this game was of the utmost importance. So credit to KGB on the vision front as well. Led the team in vision. A jungler led the team in vision.
Led the team in vision, led the team in control, and most likely led the team to victory there. I mean, everyone performed exceptionally well. Central Sentinels, it just was a tough game. Game 1, but they still have 2 games left to play here in this block. And so we're going to take a quick break before we get into game number 2. Definitely don't want to miss that one. We'll see what the Sentinels are able to do to reset. But right now, 1-0 to DAO. We'll be back for game 2 in just a moment.